Service in the United States Navy taught one young man to believe in himself, that anything is possible, and to chase an impossible dream, then make it possible.
Narrating the story of a great American underdog is Matthew McConaughey.
It was a perfect fall afternoon in South Bend, Indiana, as the Fighting Irish faced Georgia Tech, November the 8th, 1975. The home finale marked the last chance for Notre Dame seniors to suit up in blue and gold. But for one senior, it was his first and only chance, and his 27-second football career would become one of the most beloved sports stories of all time. It all began outside Chicago in the working-class town of Joliet, where Dan Rudiger, Rudy, grew up steeped in the lore of Notre Dame. He lived for football, dreaming he'd someday wear the gold helmet. And at 5'6", he even made all-conference in high school. The class was tough. Trying to join a visit to Notre Dame, he was stopped by a teacher. "Rudy, this is for college-bound students, not you." After graduation, aimless and working at the local power plant, Rudy Rudiger made the decision that would change his life. In 1969, at the height of Vietnam, he joined the United States Navy. Rudy found that the Navy made sense. The discipline, the teamwork, was like being back on the football field. Crossing the ocean at the helm of his ship, Rudy noticed a Notre Dame class ring on the finger of his commanding officer and asked if he had a shot to get in. "Absolutely," the lieutenant replied. Absolutely. After a lifetime of no and can't, the word absolutely stuck in his brain. An honorable discharge in hand, Rudy enrolled at Holy Cross Community College, next to Notre Dame's campus, where select students could apply for transfer after each semester. His tuition paid for, courtesy of the U.S. Navy, Rudy fixed on the second half of his Notre Dame dream. Gaining courage, he walked into the office of Notre Dame's coach, the great Ara Parsegian. "Coach, my name's Rudy, and I want to play football for Notre Dame." Looking up, Coach asked, "Are you a student here?" "Not yet, but I will be. I want you to know that when I get here, I promise I will give you everything I've got." Coach nodded. "I bet you will, son. I bet you will." Rudy held his grades at Holy Cross, making honors. Each semester, he applied for a transfer, and each semester, he was denied. Down to his last chance, he received another letter, thicker than the rest. Tears in his eyes, he read the first line. "Your application for transfer to the University of Notre Dame has been approved." On a hot August morning, 15 young men stepped onto a practice field, all with dreams of becoming a walk-on football player for the Irish. Rudy among them. After 3 days of grueling tryouts, his shirt covered with blood, Rudy was one of 2 walk-ons standing. No harder than boot camp, he thought. Rudy had made the team. A glorified tackling dummy, Rudy still savored every moment. He took every hit and loved it. But he still dreamt that maybe, just once, he'd dress for a real game. Rudy's grit earned him respect across campus. But as his senior season neared its end, the dream seemed out of reach. When the dress list was posted before the home finale, Rudy's name wasn't on it. In tears, he left the locker room, vowing to quit. In no time, friends and teammates knocked at his door, all begging him not to give up, and it became clear at 5'0", 100 Rudy Rudiger had hung in with the best football players in the land for 2 full years. One last time, he suited up for practice. As it wrapped, new head coach Dan Devine rallied the men for a pep talk. "One last thing," he said to close. "Rudy Rudiger is going to dress." And so on that perfect fall afternoon, November the 8th, 1975, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish ran out of the tunnel to the cheers of 60,000, Rudy leading the way. Watching from the bench, Rudy savored every moment as the game flew by. Less than 2 minutes left. Notre Dame was set to run out the clock, up by 14. Then Rudy's last miracle, as the quarterback changed the play, tossing a touchdown and putting the Notre Dame defense back on the field. The kickoff team running out. Coach turned to his 5'6" defensive lineman. "Get in there, kid." Like a madman, Rudy sprang from the bench and lined up for the kick. A touchback. He looked at the clock, 27 seconds. Then, from the stands, a chant from the student section over and over. Rudy. Planting his fist into the ground. At the snap, Rudy burst around the line. The quarterback bailing left as he dove with everything he had. On the last play of the only game he'd ever play, Rudy Rudiger scored a sack. Jumping up to celebrate the win, teammates, friends hoisted Rudy onto their shoulders, carrying him from the field to celebrate a dream fulfilled. 6 months later, Rudy Rudiger would graduate with a degree from the University of Notre Dame.